Welcome to this explainer on Ciforus. If you've been around the crypto space for any length of time at all, you already know the usual playbook. It usually goes something like this. Launch a token with a cute dog mascot, build up a massive wave of hype, and then, maybe, promise to build an actual product a few years down the line. But today, we're looking at a project that completely flips that model upside down. We're going to explore why Ciforus is fundamentally a connected privacy ecosystem first, and why its token actually serves as the economic layer around that reality, rather than just being another speculative launch. So let's quickly outline our agenda for today. We're going to cover the fragmentation problem, the Ciforus product ecosystem itself, why these connected modules matter, the Ciforus economic layer, the project's verified trust signals, and we'll wrap up with a balanced assessment of the whole ecosystem. All right, let's kick things off with part one. The fragmentation problem, or what we can call disconnected security. To really understand this, we need to start by examining a core issue that serious crypto users and privacy-conscious professionals face every single day. And it's a vital question. Why do we still experience metadata leaks and identity exposure when we are supposedly using secure applications? Because think about it. You might use an encrypted messaging app, sure. But if your billing is tied to a traditional credit card, your notes are sitting in a public cloud, and your email is on a standard Web 2 server, well, your privacy boundaries are essentially broken. That disconnect is absolutely profound. Protecting your assets on-chain with a highly secure crypto wallet really doesn't mean much if your daily communication and your identity are floating around totally exposed across fragmented Web 2 platforms. When your digital workflow is split up like that, each individual tool has its own unique privacy model and its own trust assumptions, and it only takes a single weak link, like, say, a leaked invoice or an exposed recovery email, to completely compromise your entire operational security. Moving right along to part two, the Ciforus product ecosystem and its core modules. So how do we actually fix this fragmentation? Well, Ciforus approaches this not by just slapping a patch on a single hole, but by building an entirely unified environment. The really crucial point here is how Ciforus defines identity. Instead of forcing you to create some public-facing profile linked to your personal phone number or a central database, Ciforus anchors your identity directly to your verified wallet. It essentially uses your wallet as a cryptographic trust anchor. And that is what true crypto-native identity looks like, giving you total ownership rather than platform dependency. And from that foundation, they built out a complete, unified workspace. We're talking a premium private Ciforus email address. You've got wallet-based messaging, which lets you communicate wallet to wallet securely. There's encrypted storage for your files, secure notes for your private strategies, and a dedicated security center protected by standard two-factor TOTP and a 12-word recovery phrase. Plus, and this is a big one, you have pay links, allowing you to handle crypto-native payments without ever breaking your privacy shell. And remember, this entire suite was built before any token presale was ever initiated. Which brings us to part three, why connected modules matter and why privacy needs to be treated as infrastructure. We have to look at how all these pieces interlock, because treating your security features as isolated islands is literally the enemy of true privacy. The underlying philosophy for Ciforus is absolutely critical here. Think about it. If a platform is fundamentally built to read your data to serve you ads, turning on an incognito mode later on doesn't change its DNA. Ciforus treats privacy as core system infrastructure. That means strict boundaries, end-to-end encryption and native paths, zero-knowledge principles, and minimizing server-side readability right from the very foundation. Imagine a workflow where your identity stays protected and completely consistent at every single stage of your interaction. You verify your wallet, you send an encrypted message to coordinate with someone, and then you generate a secure pay link to actually settle the transaction. And you do all of that without ever stepping outside of that encrypted, privacy-first environment. Your metadata, your payment context, and your identity are never leaked to fragmented third parties. It's a closed, secure loop. Let's dive into part four, the Ciforus economic layer and its controlled utility. Okay, so once the product's value is clear, we can really understand where the Ciforus token actually fits into this environment. Ciforus itself is the product. The token is simply the economic engine that aligns and rewards that ecosystem. This economic layer is built on a strictly fixed total supply of exactly 100 million tokens. And I want to emphasize this point. There are zero minting capabilities and absolutely zero inflation. The contract is designed purely for simplicity and transparency. No hidden taxes, no sneaky pause functions, just an immutable deployment on the Ethereum mainnet. The allocation itself is very disciplined, specifically prioritizing ecosystem growth, operational runway, and market liquidity. We're looking at 35% going to the pre-sale to fund the public push, 20% dedicated to ecosystem rewards, another 20% for the treasury to keep operations running smoothly, 15% allocated to the team, with a strict vesting schedule, of course, and finally 10% locked up securely for liquidity provision. It's a measured, highly sustainable distribution model.
And the token provides genuine, practical utility. It isn't just sitting there waiting for people to speculate on it. For example, if you use it for platform subscriptions, you get a 20% discount on premium tiers. You can also stake it to activate higher product tier access. But perhaps most importantly, it features a transparent, usage-linked burn mechanism. 40% of eligible platform service receipts are transferred directly to a dead wallet and burned permanently. That means the more the actual product is used, the more the token supply naturally deflates.
Next up is Part 5, Verified Trust Signals, or what we like to call proving the work.
In the crypto space, claims mean absolutely nothing without verifiable proof, right? You should always demand the receipts. And this project's timeline proves that structure before hype approach we've been talking about. Notice that the underlying architecture was initialized back in 2024, and those core modules we discussed were actively being built throughout 2025. The token itself wasn't deployed on the mainnet until early 2026. It was only after all of this foundational architecture and token deployment was completely finished that they initiated their public push and presale in Q2 of 2026. Put simply, they did the hard work first.
And you don't just have to take their word for it. There are transparent trust signals confirming that Ciforus is a serious, reviewable platform that respects technical evaluators. They have a deployed ERC token you can go look up right now on Etherscan. There's public tokenomics, a comprehensive white paper that details their custom 3-layer security model, an independent third-party security audit, and a fully public GitHub info hub. It's an ecosystem built for those who want to verify, not just blindly trust.
Finally, let's move to Part 6, assessing the ecosystem with a balanced view. Let's assess the reality of engaging with this project with a calm, totally objective lens. No hype here, just the facts. It is essential to remember that Ciforus is early, and like any honest project will tell you, early stages always carry normal execution, adoption, and liquidity risks. But that being said, the product-first foundation sets this entirely apart from your typical crypto launch. You are looking at a functioning platform that provides a premium digital identity and a private workspace, which is then supported by an economic layer with real, tangible utility. So I highly encourage you to go verify all of this for yourself. Explore the official Ciforus website, actually read through their white paper, check out the independent audit, and engage with their public channels. The next time you see a new crypto project promising you the moon, ask yourself, do they actually build the rocket ship first, or are they just trying to sell you the ticket? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today, and keep learning.